Hi everybody, this is Oliver Mattson. Today is May 4th, 2016. In politics, I was going to bitch about how we have how I want them to stop sending guns over the Middle East and how we need to stop putting money into war and all this other crap, but that's about 1 page, 2 pages, 3 pages of stuff, and it's a bunch of stuff that I don't really understand. And I don't understand war. So, I know some racist shit. About, Trump, and that would be stupid for me to get into. That's pointless. That's another 3 pages. I'm not going to talk about terrorism. I have notes on here on terrorism that I was going to talk about. I'm not going to talk about terrorism. I'm not going to talk about violence either. Okay, what I will discuss is if any of you guys remember a show or a film series or book series, character by the name of Pippi Longstockings. There's an actress who portrayed Pippi in the 1988 film The New Adventures of Pippi Longstockings, and her name is Tammy Erin, Tamierin. There is a sex tape of her. I watched about 30 seconds in and out, and I just couldn't watch it all the way through. I didn't want to, and no. But I try to watch some of it. I just couldn't. Besides all the crap from my childhood basically being sliced up and cut up and burnt at the stake. I mean, Bill Cosby thing, all the deaths of some of the kid actors from the 80s and 90s, and then some of them committing murders and stuff. It just really a turn off. Anyway, that's that. And as far as the news goes, let's go ahead and take a look over here on Facebook. There's supposed to be a new Blues Brothers cartoon. That's really cool. Dan Aykroyd, Judy Belushi, the former wife of Mr. John Belushi, and writer Ann Beats are co-creators and have been cleared for possible green light through Bento Box Entertainment and possible release in May for TV platforms. So there's something to look forward to. Possibly. We don't know. Yeah, I know it's May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. I always say it at the end of every all over the place, which you won't be getting anymore. But that's because they say that I'm too much of an basket case, or what do they call me? Loose cannon. So if you want this loose cannon back on the spoon, go ahead and tell them to give me my minute and a half. Let Chris Jackson, let Tom Bowers, and definitely let Robbie Rist know. Let's see. Steam has updated their platform so that it updates more current user reviews and is more content applicable for said reviews to the titles, and is working out fluidity so that the reviews are posted quickly and changing the format up a bit. I hope that this gives more ratings and clarity to stuff. I hope that it isn't a bunch of garbage that I'm reading, but I need to read some data on the game that I'm buying, because I've been spending money on these fucking games for a while now. I've been on Steam for a few years, and some of these games are total crap, and I don't even touch them. let's see. Disney may be swiping out the Twilight Zone ride for a Guardians of the Galaxy ride. That's just mean. Just put it, buy some more land, buy out a ghetto that's next to there, and put in, send the families that you buy the homes off, give them discount passes, and, or give them free passes so they can go to whatever park that they're near and continue. But the deterioration of the past is the thing that pisses me off. The way that we separate ourselves from what we came from, how fastly we do it, as well as our neo-nihilistic mannerisms currently, have all begun to change my mindset. The only reason why I enjoy entertainment so much is because of the fact that it's an escape. When I see reality, I'm a writer. What do? I get up in the morning, I have breakfast, I turn on my computer, I watch the news sometimes, terrible thing to do. By the way, and I try to get done with the things that I do, then I go to sleep at night. I do whatever I do in between the time that I wake up and the time that I sleep. And then I wake up again and do the same stuff. But it's a different day, different stuff. That's it. There's stuff that's out of my control. War, I can't stop. Pollution, I can't stop. Environmental damage because of the fact that we've been mining for raw materials in other countries even, and strip mining, and not recycling, and misusing our natural products, as well as outsourcing our raw materials to countries who do not have any environmental protection agencies or environmental regulation boards, i.e. China, for manufacturing use of lower priced goods to be sold here in the United States, also reducing jobs and thereby increasing poverty and crime. This is amazingly redundant. And then we have to go and send kids off to war so that they can get money to go to college. What for? The jobs that aren't here? It's stupid. It's a subcyclonic. This is worse than the stresses in France in the 1840s that Karl Marx wrote about. This is a very difficult time. So, since I basically omitted a bunch of stuff, and I'm not going to talk, there's the 3 pages that I'm not going to talk to you about Donald Trump. I'm sitting here in the morning on Road D in Redwood Valley, California, and we're about to have a yard sale on the 7th. So if you're in your Redwood Valley area in California, come up Road D, and there's a kids drum set, there's a free pile, there's a miscellaneous on the table that's for sale, and come up, visit, and have a good time. Alright, yard sale push done. If you guys want to laugh your ass off and be a little bit more aware, I suggest listening to or watching, actually, Jonathan Pie, P-I-E, and he's from the UK. I got turned on to him by Spiz Energy, and so go look up Jonathan Pie. He'll make you laugh your ass off and think. He does drop a lot of F-bombs, but it's kind of cool. His timing is excellent, and I'd love to see his stand-up show. There's no reason for us to be in the Middle East. I'll go ahead and just go back to the Middle East thing. Let's see. In politics, I'm running away before I get run over by the elephants, donkeys, and whatever else is out there. I want to think about my life, my safety, not OPEC territories. I know for a fact that the wars in the Middle East are old, way older than America, older than 2,000 years plus. Try like 40,000 plus years. they walk around a cube in the middle of this like square thing, and they because they care about something that fell down from space, and they're showing their attention, gratitude, or love, or whatever towards these deities. Let them do their praying. Let's not criticize them. Don't give them guns and bombs to blow themselves and others up, though. That's the bad thing. The only reason that we should be in the Middle East is to buy oil. And maybe go to one of those spiritual journey things and get opened up and, have a guru or something, and of course to go pay the tech support teams and the phone support guys. That's the only reason why you should be in the Middle East. I mean, if you're if you're like me, there's no reason for you to be there. I don't understand how we've gone from Al-Qaeda then to Abbas and Hamas, now we're into ISIS and ISIL. It's like a progression of gang names. It's like the Bloods and the Crips from the 80s compared to whatever the fuck we got now. Yeah, so this will be one of my last mornings here. I'm watching the sky turn from a deep purple, then into a light deep blue, now slightly overcast with the morning sun. Be seeing the sun come up over in the east pretty quickly. Clouds have a thin overlay. Birds are chirping. Cats are purring. Plants are growing. Other people in the house are sleeping. Or trying to. And I'm doing a goddamn podcast. Let's see, in sports, I was going to have a sports section, but, somebody's winning, somebody's losing, somebody isn't doing well, somebody died, somebody isn't up to their potential, somebody isn't doing it for the team or the league, somebody has just made a new deal. Somebody has transferred to teams and or leagues or coverage entities. It was a devastating loss. It was a terrific win. And it was a great attempt. It was a change in performance. New findings have been released, and we'll always have more after these messages. In film, I'm anticipating, I want to know more data from Simon Cowell in regards to the Betty Boop movie that he may or may not be working on. That would be really cool to see him go through with it. If he can sit there and reactivate the Betty Boop stuff and that kind of fun, goofy, wonderful, lighthearted, non-dramatic type of character back into the media, that will be wonderful. And I believe that it's a necessity at this point in time that we're dealing with, and we're dealing with too much drama, too much hatred, anger, and just bad stuff in general. I would love to just sit there and for an hour and a half eating popcorn and listen to Betty sing and goof off and run around with her dog and have her little adventures. That would be a wonderful thing for me. I use film for escapism, like I was saying earlier, as well as my comic books and robots and all that other stuff. When I was a small child, I learned that my dad was dying when I was about 1 or 2 years old. The doctor said to not let me in the room, but I was there anyways, I guess, and I heard that my dad was dying and that he only had about a year or so to live. When I found that out, I began to feel sadness, which I hadn't known about yet. And I just learned how to read at age 2, then I found out about death. And after I got my library card at age 2, I started reading about death. I also started reading about the occult. And I also read ghost stories because I believed that sometimes, or still believe too once in a while now, that ghosts can communicate with us via physical means, via voices, via multiple spectrum movement, and showing themselves in different ways, and also just being in our thoughts, our minds, our hearts, and in our physical being. Value. Value is something I want to talk about too today. Value is a thing that can be either estimated to you by the media and your family and your friends, and be told this is worth this much, and this is worth this much, and this is worth this much, as well as the sales papers and statistics and numerics. I believe that value stems from growth, intelligence, care, perseverance, integrity, honesty, good decisions, smooth transitions and transactions, forward movement, and non-negative care. When care becomes dull and non-necessary, one must change. One must change. The fact of the matter is, my buddy's getting basically kicked out of here, and we basically have until the 12th of June to have everything torn out of here. All his stuff, all my stuff, and everything out of here. No holds barred. Tear out the studio, tear out his garden, everything must go. Because they've already got a new family coming in on the 12th or 13th, so I've got that to deal with, and that's part of the news too. People who do things continue to do them. Writers write. People who grow flowers, please continue to grow your flowers. People who help animals, please continue to help animals. People who believe in people, do so. People who work at libraries, continue. People who do volunteering, continue to do so. Even if you work in retail, you're still affecting people's lives. Try to make their day better. They might make your day better sometime, and also just the function of it fills your life with some hope and transitions your mind from inactivity to proactivity and to positive mode. Positive mode will be able to wipe out some of whatever you're feeling, stress-wise, depression-wise, to a certain extent. Yes, there are downlying core heaviness in depression that may be loss, that may be jealousy. Those are real emotions, and those have to be, as well as death. Death is a heavy one. Loss, being robbed, being screwed over, losing money, losing intellectual properties, losing your job, losing your mind. Those are things that are real. When you have to second guess your thoughts, when you're thinking through other people's minds, when you're asking other people to think for you, those are real problems. These are real heavy weights, anchors that tie the chain of the ship of the mind, and the soul, and the heart, and our emotions, our ideas, how we breathe, how we live. If we can get up in the morning, sometimes depends on these feelings. These feelings are the ones that bind us to our true selves, our own identity, and our being. Our being we have had since we were children. How we maintain and modify this being that we are, have been, and can be, is how we live life and maintain it as far as we possibly can go, I hope. Suicide is very sad, and I really feel bad about my friends who have taken their lives, and many other people who have taken their lives. I read an article on Wendy O. Williams, and wow, she took her life at 48. That was very difficult for me to read about, because I just turned 40 on April 14th, and today being May the 4th. It's a month after Robbie's birthday. Happy birthday, Robbie Wrist. By the way, happy 1 month away from your birthday, Robbie Wrist. So, I'm just trying to take in all the stuff that I got to deal with. I mean, we have to move all this crap. I have to find places to store things, more places to store stuff, and get more stuff even. The continuation of the robberies has really dragged me down. My depression has increased quite a lot due to the fact of the robberies, the stress of the violence, and then also internal struggles that I'm not going to get into, that I've come to a transcendence point to where I need to go ahead and break away, look at it in a third perspective, and analyze this stuff. Speaking of break away, I remember there was a song in a certain movie that had those lyrics in them called Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. They've started filming Bill and Ted's Part 3. That's going to be fun. So we got the Blues Brothers and Bill and Ted to look forward to. The Flip Knife album will be an EP first, then we'll be going from there. Maximilian Olivier feels that the content that we have isn't enough to do a full LP at the current time, but therefore we will have an EP out and then continue forward due to a lot of drama and a lot of things going on. Busy with work. He's busy with work. I'm busy with my house. His mother just passed away. My grandmother just passed away. Cheryl's mom just passed away. And I'm going through a lot of transitions right now. Life changes, big ones. And we're also having to move, so move all the crap out of here and do this and relocate Bodie and all this other stuff. So, my bike Lucy will be coming home in the next few days probably. Lucy is a black bike with a automatic transmission in the pedals. It rocks. It's like a cruiser, and that thing goes fast. But anyway, let's see. What else was I going to talk about? If you're into Star Wars, yay, cool. I'm going to be relaxing today and writing and taking care of things around here and helping move and helping him get ready for the move and getting my stuff prepped and organized so that I can put it in storage. And the reason why it's really hurts because after my apartment started getting robbed when we first moved in, I had to start moving my stuff over here, and I had a chance to be around it and play my games and look at my comics and be around the things that I loved and cared about. And now that we're having to move, it's going to be really sucky because I won't be able to be with my friends and see my stuff anymore. Normally I try to push a product. I used to do it for the spoon and stuff, but I already probably gave like a fucking half-hour commercials. I'm gonna go ahead and say, play the games that you want to play, read the things that you want to read, turn off the news if it bothers you. As far as new albums, I'd recommend go ahead and please listen to the new Monkeys album. It's really great. Take care. Thank you very much. May the force be with you, and I'll check you on the flip side.